It is becoming increasingly more difficult to compete in the multiplayer shooter space. With tons of games coming out every year competing for your attention, your time, and your money, it's to be expected that some games will fall by the wayside into obscurity. Like my last videos covering games like Scavengers, 9 to 5, Dual Universe, and Crossfire X, another game has entered the industry, and in just over 12 months after release, the developers have ceased development while leaving the servers online along with their cash shop. This is the troubled story of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhunt, a game destined for stardom with positive reviews and tons of coverage coming up in an industry that is shifting its focus to the behemoths in the space. Leave a like on the video and subscribe for more content just like this. Initially announced in 2020, then revealed at Summer Games Fest in 2021, a lot of gamers were feeling a little let down that an IP as dark and gritty as Vampire the Masquerade was subjected to being pushed out as a generic battle royale, a genre that has seen so many games come and go with little innovation that people were starting to kind of grow tired of. The reveal had missed the mark for a lot of people, but there were signs of hope, with the initial trailer seeing 6.3K likes versus 2.3K dislikes. It's clear that this wasn't an infinite warfare situation, but a polarizing one nonetheless. Bloodhunt was being developed by Shark Mob, a Tencent-owned studio who hadn't had a notable game up until this point. Being fitted with former staff from Massive Entertainment and IO Interactive, it's clear that there was some talent at the studio that could take this game to that AA, almost AAA level. And with the tabletop RPG community being so invested in the Vampire IP, there were signs that this could actually turn into a solid competitor in the space. What separated Bloodhunt from the rest of the pack was its setting, general fast-paced nature, as well as its movement system, which allowed you to scale buildings, jump to great heights, and rain down hell upon your enemies. There was also the ability to feast on civilians around the map that would give you power. Vampires versus hunters. What could go wrong? An early access version of the game would finally release in September of 2021, with the full game releasing only 6 months later on April 27th, 2022. And this is where the game would see its highest player count of all time, peaking at just over 29,000 players. No small feat for a game entering a crowded category, being developed by a relatively unknown studio, handling a beloved IP that is already on rocky ground for the fact that it's entering into a genre, an FPS genre, where most fans of the Vampire Masquerade IP wouldn't want to see it go. But with that said, the hype was real and everything was looking up for Bloodhunt, but only a month later, the peak player numbers would free fall to down below 8,000 and then head south from then on in. At the time of recording this video, there were less than 1,000 players online, but that also doesn't tell the full story, as the last several months had the average players sitting at around 500 to 700 players and sometimes even lower. It's clear that something was resonating with Battle Royale enthusiasts, and when I played it last year, I had a lot of fun with it. But I know that putting it up against the juggernauts of Warzone, Apex, and Fortnite, it was simply not the right call. It didn't do enough to bring people over, and when it did, it didn't do enough to keep them. Was it the use of the IP that just didn't have enough mass appeal to kickstart an audience? Or was it the fact that the fans of the Vampire IP just weren't willing to invest in a shooter? Or was it the lack of defining features outside of movement and combat? I believe in this case there isn't just one issue to point to, one fact that made this game derail, but a ton of smaller issues that compounded on the eventual failure of the title. A post dated May 15, 2023 on the Bloodhunt website reads, "Hello Bloodhunt community. Bloodhunt is a game that we developed as a standout title in the popular battle royale genre, where we focus on creating an immersive and unique experience for players that enjoy games that are easy to learn but difficult to master. Ever since launch, we have been on a journey to excite and delight our players. However, while we have an amazing and very engaged community, we haven't been able to reach the critical mass needed to sustain development. This has led us to the decision to stop further development of Bloodhunt. With that said, Bloodhunt servers will stay up and the game will remain available to play. Our aim is to keep the servers going for as long as we have an active player base and community. For those who enjoy the game and want to continue playing, we have worked on some solutions to ensure that the game continues to be interesting. An in-game player voting system will be deployed to regularly unlock new things and keep Bloodhunt fresh. We will share more granular details about how this system works when we get closer to releasing our next update, which will be the last planned patch for Bloodhunt. Beyond that update, patches will be only related to maintenance. We are also looking at turning off real currency purchasing on September 26th. Before this happens, we will implement a way to earn in-game tokens more easily so players can continue to play and unlock cosmetics beyond this date. While we are as sad as you are that Bloodhunt development has now come to an end, please know that this was a difficult decision to make, and we take this experience with us in the development of coming games. We hope that you will still have many enjoyable experiences in Bloodhunt, and we look forward to seeing you on the streets of Prague. So with that said, Bloodhunt is stopping all developments after its next patch, while leaving the servers open indefinitely so players can still enjoy the game. I'm not sure how I feel about leaving the cash shop open for the next 6 months, but it is what it is. While not dead per se, this is the final nail in the coffin for a game that just didn't do enough to separate itself from the rest of the pack. My question to you is, have you played Bloodhunt? And if so, what are your thoughts on this ceasing of development? And also let me know why you think this game failed where plenty of other games before it have failed as well. Let me know down below in the comments, and while you're down there, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more gaming news and discussion, and check out my other videos on games that have seemingly died the moment they released. My name is BigFry, and I'll see you on the next one.